So would you tell us, how do you think the Managing Safely for Wind Power course changes what you do, and how will it benefit your business?
The main way that it changes what I do will probably be in carrying out risk assessments. We use a computerised programme for it, but I think that it limits you slightly in the way you think about it. So carrying out the assessments like we've learnt on this course, taking it through each of those steps to make sure you don't miss anything, I think I'll do that separately before I go to the computer to use the computerised system. Managing safety and managing change techniques are quite important. So when introducing new things into the business, it's important to understand how they'll affect everybody and take that into account.
Well, first of all, in Managing Safety for Wind Power, it widened my insight into safety within an organisation, not from my perspective, but from the perspective of all managers within all the departments. So I can safely say that I'm seeing through their eyes. How they change it, I think it changes in regards of how we're going to operate, and we're going to operate more smoothly. We're going to have a clarity what we have to do to cooperate with one another. Having that knowledge after that course, obviously, it's going to help a lot.
It's given us a different insight into how to manage safety. I mean, I think previously we probably looked at it as very much a kind of compliance issue, and this has really given us a focus where it can actually benefit through the whole business. It can actually change the way we approach things across the business, and it integrates safety into a more kind of comprehensive way.
It's certainly reset my expectations of what's required for my role within the wind power industry, and it's just highlighted some deficiencies within our organisation that we're going to have to address.
Is there any particular part you enjoyed the most that was more useful and beneficial to yourself?
Yes, the part of measuring the performance, the effective setting up the parameters and indicators on the factors that contribute to those problems.
The hazard identification and risk assessment bit. Risk assessment is something that I've done before, but never to this sort of level and in depth. So I think it's been a really useful tool.
The section around the performance side that we did, so that gave us an idea of how to set targets. When you measure something, it tends to get better, and I think that a focus on that gives you some sort of tools for improving things in future, so that helped a lot.
The managing change side of things, understanding everybody's points of view and how you making a change can affect them in terms of how much work it is for them, and how they perceive things as opposed to how you perceive things is quite interesting.
How does this course, you think, compares to other health and safety courses you've been to?
It's been a really useful one, and I think they tend to have not a very good reputation, but this course has been a real joy and a real pleasure, so I've enjoyed it very much.
I think it's very different. I think it's a lot more useful. I think I've been on a risk awareness course and a risk assessment course. So you'd think that coming into this course I would know how to do a risk assessment, but I did learn that really I don't know how to do a risk assessment, and even some of the most basic stuff like the definition of what risk is and what hazard is and likelihood. Even the definitions of them weren't clear to me despite having carried out a risk assessment course. It's given me a better understanding of why those processes are what they are, rather than just this is how you do it, step 1, step 2, step 3. It's given me an understanding of why you do it, which means you're a lot more likely to remember it and actually apply it in future.
It's completely different. It completely changes my opinion towards the health and safety courses. It's not a typical health and safety course. I used to think that the health and safety courses are boring and just being really repetitive in terms of regulations and everything what is said, and irrelevant to what I'm doing on a daily basis. This particular course actually hits exactly to every single point I come across in my daily duties and daily life within company life. It gives you all the information that you need, or all the information that you know that they are there, but you don't know how to find them. Probably I'm going to question the existence of health and safety department within the company, because every single person within the company should have that knowledge of what that course provides.
Far more in depth, far more real-world experience. The tutor instructor has tried to relate a lot of what we're talking about to real-world experiences that we can all relate to. So that's been really beneficial compared with a lot of courses where it's very theoretical and the instructors maybe no experience in the real world.